each other's mental space. If you ever need me, just call. I'ma come running, give it my all. Love is love, God wins. Keep your vibrations high and watch how your blessings.
Welcome everyone before it's over and we're done.
You know that I need them in the bush behind them trees. We give it to you freely, please. Baby, don't you tease. Get them lights up. Get them lights up. Time to raise the lights up. Get them to 100% for the Alice Fam event. Lights up, lights up. Get them lights up. Time to raise them lights up. Get them to 100%. It's the Alice Fam event. Cause I know y'all wanna see it. Yeah, I know you wanna see it. Say you wanna see it. Yeah, I know you wanna see it. I know you wanna see it. Say you wanna see it. I know you wanna see it. Yeah, we say we need them, cause it's no more freebies. You came here to see me, please. Baby, don't you tease. Get them lights up. Get them lights up. Time to raise the lights up. Get them to 100% for the Alice Fam event. Lights up. Lights up. Get them lights up. Time to raise the lights up. Get them to 100%. It's the Alice Fam event.
What's good, YouTube? What's good? What's good? DD, what's going on with you? Love Queen, Mama Fox, everybody that's out there. Love is love. Namaste, Ashe, salutations, shalom, peace, peace, peace. Listen, as y'all already know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. A lot of stuff going on in the world right now. I don't know if you've been keeping up on it, but I have. I have been keeping up on a lot of this stuff that's happening in the world right now. And it's funny, but maybe people don't know the different levels of manipulation that's taking place in the world right now. Maybe they don't know about it, because right now in this world, what's taking place is psychological warfare. It's attached to spirituality. It's attached to everything. If you get into admiralty laws, you know, laws of the sea, you will find out that it is tied to spirituality. In fact, admiralty laws is not only tied to your social security number. Your social security number is tied to marine laws through a clause that was put into play through you might as well say at the time a church, because it was the Catholic. So they deemed that certain properties was meant to be governed. That's why it's called the government, because it's governing your mental. So it's blocking certain variations or creating certain variations of trains of thought pattern and so on and so forth. This is where school comes in. This is why school and prison are so much alike, right? Look at school now. You go in, you can't contact your family, you can't make phone calls, you got to go to administration. They're even thinking about putting holding cells in the school to stop, they say it's isolation cells for the behavior modified kids, but that's a prison. That is a prison. Right. And then the format of how everything is, it's the same thing. Right. So we have this underlining level of whatever you want to call it. I say it's mind control because it's in workforce America too. Like in the workplace, like no matter how hard of a worker you are, you're always getting compared to everyone else, right? No matter how much you do that shows your independence, your individual way of thinking, right? They still compare you to everybody else. Like workplace makes you fall in line with the group. You get punished for the group, you get punished for all of what everybody else doing. There's no individuality left in society anymore. That's why I say social media, being online, so on and so forth. This stuff means more because people are looking for authenticity. People are looking for originality. People are looking for this, right? And it's funny because like everybody is so caught up in the echo chamber. Like when you look at the Jaguar right sector and you look at the echo chamber that's happening in that sector, it's sad because all these personas claim to be their own individual, yet shows no individuality. They don't do nothing. Everything they do is because they seen somebody else doing it. If you look at a lot of the monkey see, monkey do rhetoric that's going on right now, controversy sells. So everybody is creating controversy in order to sell. Why? Because whatever is selling, it's supply and demand, right? So if you're buying into World Star, if you're buying into negative, right, the world sells you that more. So they're selling you this negative. They're selling you this low vibration. Why? Because that's what you're buying. You're buying into that, right? If I said on my page and I talked about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you would not stay over here. But if I talked about drama, if it looked like I was cursing somebody out, if it looked like I was going through it, if it looked like my life was worse than your life, you'll stick around. Because you'll stick around because it makes you feel better to see somebody going through it worse than you. And we repeating this now. The people that they're idolizing that are in certain communities, look at them. They're addicts. They're fiends. They're keeping the same narrative in our communities that alcohol is cool, drugs is cool. Look at Tasha K. Look at her. What does she keep on her panel? She keep wine bottles. She shows you that she's an alcoholic, right? All these people already gave their soul up to certain gods, certain deities. They are, some of them are, they praise a money god. Some of them praise a lust god. Some of them praise a greed god. This is why Nicki Minaj asked Ray J, what God you serve? Because everybody ain't down here believing in the same God. You can try to make it seem like we all have one God idea and there's only one God. But before we had a single God system, there was a multi-God system in place. So how can we come out of a multi-God system and then change up the mindset of the multitude and say, let's just tell them it's one God? That doesn't make sense. That means the multi-God system still exists. They just place this one God ideology on top of the multi-God system. And that's probably why we're so confused in our own mind. Same way they manipulated dates and times. They manipulated what is spirituality. They put a tag on it and called it religion. Now, every time I speak about spirituality, people think I got to be religious in order to speak about spiritual. That's not how that works. You don't have to be religious to speak about spirituality. Spirituality is your own personal relationship with the one who is inside of you. I can't tell you how to go about your spirituality. If your spirituality tell you to go out there and pluck a chicken, then that's what I can't say nothing about that. Move with the spirit. Go ahead and do it. Just the same as you can't tell me how to go about the relationship that I'm supposed to have with the person inside of me. See, a lot of people try to dictate and narrate the relationship that you're supposed to have with the God inside of you. How you going? That's why we serve a jealous God, because somebody else is telling us how we supposed to serve our God. And that ain't true. Someone else is telling us what we're supposed to offer our God. Someone else is painting a narrative about how we're supposed to go about our God. Our God is inside screaming something completely different, telling us we don't want the wine and saltine cracker every 3 weeks. The God inside of you is telling you something completely different, but you don't know. The God inside of you won't respond to you until that pastor tell you to do something that you know is beyond you. The moment the pastor say some shit like, we are all going to jump off of this bridge because God told us to, that's when your ass is going to start questioning. What? Hold on. That don't sound right, pastor. But as long as the pastor is not telling you nothing that is detrimental to your physical self, right, you're not going to question it. But the moment the pastor says something that's outlandish in the name of God, oh, now you got to question it, right? But as long as the pastor is sitting up there like, I could dance all night, you know what I'm saying? As long as the pastor is, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good, the moment the pastor say, God wants you to do something that is beyond you, that way you're going to be like, hold up now, pastor. Are we sure we talking to the same God? That's when the multi-God system and everything. I don't think pastor is praising the God of creation and life and light. And that when you're going to start questioning the pastor. You get what I'm saying? All right, now, as long as the pastor ain't saying nothing that's harmful to you and yours, go ahead and preach, preacher. Right? Because there's no spiritual discernment in this. Think about it. God said, come as you are, yet they're closing the doors to a bunch of people. Jesus said, don't praise me, praise he who sent me, for I'm here to do my Father's work. Yet you can't praise God anymore. You have to praise Jesus now, right? But Jesus never asked for y'all to praise him. He said, do not praise me, praise he who sent me, for I'm here to do my Father's work. He even said, while he was on the cross, he said, look at your disciple. He told his mom, look at the disciple, for that is now your son. He told his disciple, look at my mother, for that is now your mother. So he literally told his disciples, I'm no better than you. You're no better than you. My mother is your mother. My father is your father, so on and so forth. So how did we get to the praising of him part? That's because y'all praising man. Y'all praising images. The same thing that the Bible told us not to do. Y'all praising the image of a man because he came down in the form of a man. So you praising the idea that God can be a man. But you're not praising the idea that God can be a woman. You're not praising the idea that God can be a dog. You know what I'm saying? You want God to be a badass little boy named Bart. It ain't making sense. Nothing in this world makes sense, and everybody's scared to question it. They tell us about 12 constellations in our central sky. Why we don't know that Australia sees 6 different constellations? Why we don't know that in the southern sky there's 6 constellations that we don't know about, and in the northern sky is 6 constellations that we don't know about? That's the power of the 24. There's 12 in the central, but it's 6 that you don't know about in the north, 6 that you don't know about in the south. That's the 12 you see and the 12 you don't see. The 12 you see is the 12 that's in our central sky. The 12 you don't see is the 6 and 6 that's in the north and the south, right? Why they don't tell us about that? That explains time more than anything. That explains the 24-hour clock. That explains why it's 24 hours in our day. Because it's 12 you see and 12 you don't see. That explains duality. But see, they lied to you and told you that you had 24 hours in a day. So because they told you it was 24 hours in a day, you were okay with giving up 8 of those hours because you thought it was 24 hours in a day. Tricked again. There's only 12 hours in a day. If they would have told you that it was 12 hours in a day, you might have charged them more for the 8 hours that they were asking of you. Because there's 12 hours in a day and there's 12 hours in a night. There ain't no damn 24 hours in a day. You get what I'm saying? Think about it. Now, before you try to chuck me off as being high or just try to say that that was some crazy stuff, think about what I just said. There's really only 12 hours in a day. There's 12 hours a day. There's 12 hours a night. You take 12 hours and you give up 8 of them. That means that only leaves you 4 hours of day. The rest is going into the night. So if I would have knew that there was 12 hours in the day, I would have put a different price on the 8 hours that I was given to these companies. Right or wrong? One's in the chat if you understand what I said. You know? And then, like, when you look at it, I want you guys to think about this. They're making you work for 2 weeks before you get a paycheck, right? But they're making 25,000 to 30,000 a day. In one day, they have enough to pay the whole staff of the building, right? But you still got to wait 2 weeks before you get that. How much money did they accumulate within that 2 weeks before they start bitching about the labor fees that they got to pay you? All the money that they making, and they still operating in greed. That means there's no satisfaction there. That means it's an energy that is operating their vessel. That means greed will always consume them. It will never be enough. These money demons, these low vibrational demons, lust demons, it will never be enough. A vampire will always crave blood no matter how much blood you give them. You know? These money demons will always crave money no matter how much money you give them. So we can't get out of the society that we in until we change the people. The people got to rotate. We used to have a time where we actually rotated the people of power. And in the universe, it still goes like that. Each zodiac sign holds a position of power for a certain amount of time. So if you're Aries, then your energy is held at a certain level of power for a certain amount of time, so on and so forth. They cycled this. They cycle through the zodiacs like this. That's why every 2 hours out the day, you're in the sun sign or the moon sign of that zodiac. When you start your day in the morning time, you're starting off in Aries, then it's Taurus, then it's so on and so forth, all the way to a 24-hour cycle, basically. Every damn zodiac sign is getting energy throughout the day. In a 24-hour cycle, every zodiac sign is in a position of energy throughout the whole day. Not just the month, the whole day. We are shifting through the energies of our zodiac. Some of y'all are Taurus, but act like Scorpios, and then y'all try to make it seem like, no, you're all 12 zodiacs. That's what makes you human. Is all 12 zodiacs coming together. It is the essence of life that is breathed inside of us through the universe. It comes in through the zodiac signs. And y'all making it seem like you just Taurus or you're just Aries or you're just don't you know it? Every sign makes up the whole body. Taurus is the throat. Aries is the head. You know, Gemini is the arms. Cancer is the breast. You know, Aquarius is the ankles and lower areas. Like, come on, the thighs, and what the fuck? Like, we accept one of the signs but deny the other 12. Like, no, you have to accept that you are all 12. Even Christ put the 12 back together. If we are supposed to be examples of Christ, why are we not putting the 12 back together? If we supposed to be examples of Christ, why are we not trying to unify one another? Why are we not acting like my mother is not your mother and your mother is not my mother? That's what Christ said. Christ said, my father is your father. So how can you deem me a bastard if we got the same father? None of this shit makes sense down here. None of it. Yeah, go with the technicalities. Go with well, technically it's a bloodline. Before it was a bloodline, it was the essence of me here. Before you even knew that blood carried and it had this, and before y'all even knew about blood, the essence of us was here on Tamith. When you say we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us, all the sayings that our peoples used to pass on, it was a reason. It was a reason why Tupac said wars come and go, but my soldiers are eternal. It was a reason. Those wasn't words of Tupac. Those was words from the creator. And they know these words. They listen for certain talk that only, certain beings speak on. Certain higher intellectual beings, Christ-like beings. They know our language. They studied it, so they know what to look out for whenever we return with spirituality and auras and energies and ethers. They manipulated all of the talk of how we speak. But that means they studied it. That means they knew us. That means they knew this time was going to come, where spirituality will come back, where prophesying will come back. They knew our language and taught us a fucked up language. Why you think America is the only place they don't know the language of? Because they hid the language of America. They studied it, hieroglyphics, so on and so forth. Spread it out, made you think that it came from all these other places when it came from here. Why you think Trump just now announced that English is America's language now? Because it never was labeled as our language before. Because we never spoke like that. We spoke through energies, vibrations, and our actions spoke for us. Now you see all of these higher ups trying to act like they so spiritual. Now you see Donald Trump going to the museums and oh so holy and da-da-da-da-da. That's because they're pushing for World War III. Why do you think he attacked Venezuela, then turn around and attack Africa, and then Israel go ahead and say that they claiming war on 3 different continents? Like, they know what the fuck they pushing for. They just want the people to pay attention to it, and we don't give a fuck. We know y'all gonna fight. That's what the fuck y'all do. Negative begots negative. We know that. But y'all mad because we don't want to participate. We done fighting. We done fighting for peace and never seeing it. Y'all ain't even give us 7 years of peace. Y'all gave us no fucking peace. We've been in a war since World War I. We always been in a war. Y'all motherfuckers act like this is something different. No. We at war in our own states. We at war in our own neighborhoods. Bloods and the Crips been beefing since I was a kid. Fuck is you talking about war? That's all y'all showed us is war. You put Bloods, Crips, Nayetas, Latin Kings, fucking all types of people that just want a war around us. Fuck is you talking? You ain't telling us nothing new. Tell me when the peace start. Tell me that shit. The war never ended. Fighting never stopped. Everybody on social media want to teach you how to hate. You know? That's all they want to do is teach you how to hate. I'll teach you how to hate. I'll teach you how to do that. And look at it. Look at social media. All these people want to say they got the right to hate you. How you got the right to hate me and you never loved me? How the fuck you got the right to hate something you never loved? These are like, this is like dealing with stubborn kids, right? They know their time of power is over. They know that they got to pass leadership and they don't want to. So they're like, we'll just destroy it because they feel like, we're not going to pass along something that we did and we accomplished over these eons and so on and so forth. And now we just got to leave it to the meek and the hair lot. No, we'll destroy it before we give it back to them. That's how they feel about Earth right now. They know they don't hold no power over people. They know that we back to natural laws. They know that we back to human laws. They know that we own this planet. They know that our intentions are strong. They know that we can literally just decide not to fight and just be at peace with one another if we so choose it. They always say, just because they making guns don't mean you got to use them. Right or wrong? Just because they making them don't mean we got to use them. Why? We don't have to participate in none of their shenanigans. You know, we created this land based off of peace and unity. Why can't we operate like that in this land? We supposed to be showing people the American dream. When did America stop dreaming? Huh? When did we stop dreaming? Because apparently somewhere along the line, y'all lost y'all ability to dream. Ain't nobody dreaming a new dream, a better dream, or any of that. You know? It's because they can't think of nothing else but division, separation. They can't think of nothing else. They can't think of nothing. They don't have creative thoughts. They don't have that. Look, why do you think, if y'all don't believe what's going on in the world, look at all of the bloodlines that's no longer here. Why do you think in 2020, Constantine bloodline, the last of his bloodline is gone? Why do you think the last of the Queen's bloodline is gone? Why do you think that? Why do you think that? Huh? There's a reason for it. All of these energies has to return to which they came. And they all know. That's why they say, you can hear them. They'll say, I don't think I'm coming back this trip. What do you mean? Y'all been telling us that there's no reincarnation process. So how the fuck do you mean you don't think you coming back after this trip? That means you know that you've been being reincarnated and you know your time is up for reincarnation. You know that you're not coming back. You know that energy is not coming back because you can't. If the lower two chakras is going, right? If the root chakra and the sacral chakra is being removed, any energy that operates in the root chakra or the sacral chakra will not return back down here to this plane. That's how they know that they're not going to come back, because they know that the root chakra frequency is being destroyed and the sacral chakra frequency is being destroyed. So anyone that is heavily operated in those, created in those frequencies, they're not coming back. They know that. That's why they keep on saying it's your creative energy. No, that's called hormones. It's your hormonic energy. And you took our hormonic energy and made it about fornication. That hormonic energy, that Christ essence that forms in a man at the age of 13. Remember, Christ first appeared at 13. So that energy that forms in a man, the seed that forms in a man at the age of 13, he's not supposed to spill it into the age 33. He's not supposed to pass on that because he's building it up, right? And through the story of Christ, it told you when those energies were supposed to appear again, right? Someone manipulated our hormonic energy. They got us passing weak seeds that's undeveloped. It's the same thing with an animal. You don't prematurely mate dogs. You usually skip the first heat. And then you make the dog the second heat because you want the dog to be fully developed before you pass on the gene, right? That's the same thing with humans. Why don't we apply the same biological growth of animals? Why don't we apply that to ourselves? Not to mention the whole concept of taking you out the womb before the time. That's why they take you out at 9 months and don't let you go through a full 12-month cycle. Think about it. An elephant is pregnant for damn near 16 to 18 months. Huh? And that's why they took out home births. That's why they took out water births. That's why you're not allowed to do no births with the dolphins anymore because of the frequencies. Yeah. Anything that blocked off the connection to our DNA, that awakened that RNA that's in our DNA, they figured out how to block off the 144 chromosomes that's inside of our body. And now we're only operating on 23 chromosomes out of 144. We're only operating on 23. If you don't believe me, look it up. You have 12 DNA strands. Each DNA holds 12. 12 times 12 is what? 144. Each DNA holds its own set of 12. And the book prepared us and told us that the 144 will awaken. The 144 chromosomes that is inside of our body is awakening. That's why they sent melanin into outer space. That's why they're trying to say that aliens is walking amongst us, but they appear as us. That's why they saying all of this, because they already know they're the invaders. It doesn't make sense. How is you telling us that aliens is amongst us, but you can't point out an alien? That explains why they never find no alien. That's why they never find an alien. That's why they never find an alien. You ever notice that? They never find an alien because they don't want to tell you that the aliens are black. So they just keep on making it seem like they never found them. They don't want to tell you that they Negroes. Huh? And we don't want to look it up because we ignorant. They don't want to tell you that it was a time that white didn't exist. The reason why they never find them is because you're operating them. You're conscious. We are multidimensional beings. We all have spacecrafts. We all operate spacecrafts, but they stopped the operation of that. They used to call them dragons. They used to call them whatever. We all are in operation of them. If you look deep into certain contracts, it tells you that religious properties, that goes with crafts. Like there are certain crafts, like if you know like that you operate in the higher realms of yourself at the same time that you're operating in the lower realms of the self. So the same time that you exist down here on the physical planet, there's a craft that exists in outer space that belongs to you. So the star seed colony that you from, whatever, like every time, like think about Lion King. You know, in that part where Lion King, where the king tells him, he say that all the stars are kings of the past that's looking down on us, right? Every time something is born down here, a star is born in space. Why do you think in 1995 there wasn't as many stars or planets as it is now? Why do you think it wasn't as many moons on planets as it? Why do you think In 1995 science class, they didn't tell you that Saturn had, 20 moons around it or however many moons, but now it's more. Now all of that is more. Now they done map the galaxy and can tell you more. But before, there was nothing beyond our Milky Way. Now we're moving towards the Milky Way and we can see further things beyond our Milky Way. Now there's a planet X, also known as a Nibiru, that's right outside our Milky Way that comes into our galaxy every 2,600 years, so on and so forth. And now think about that. That means that the same time that we were evolving, our universe was evolving. At that same time that we were growing, our universe was growing. That don't tell you that we're connected to the universe? Our consciousness and the level of knowledge that we put in our brain, it's what helps the creator keeps on creating. So the moment consciousness drops down to a level that the creator can't create anymore, the creator got to come see what the fuck that's about. Like, yo, I need y'all to be of knowledge and wisdom in order to keep on creating. You're the engine of this. You got to keep on being of knowledge and wisdom, keep on searching for knowledge and yearning for knowledge in order for me to keep on creating. So the moment we became dumb down here, that's when the emergency button was pressed. That's when the creator like, hold on, somebody done, y'all doing something different down here. Why do you think we had more technology back then than we got now? Think about it. You got pictures from a time that cameras didn't exist. You got color photos from a time when color didn't exist. What the fuck? Make this make sense. How you giving me and showing me pictures of a pyramid that exists when only black and white existed? None of this shit makes sense. They don't show you too many slaves getting off of ships, but they'll show you the pilgrimage. Huh? See, a lot of y'all don't really know what took place 100+ years ago with the Titanic, so on and so forth. A lot of y'all don't know why they trying to take, copper pennies out of circulation. A lot of y'all don't know who actually wrote the Declaration of Independence. It's the reason why the Declaration of Independence is the Declaration of Independence. They signed to that. They signed up to something that someone else wrote. Now think about that. If a bunch of Caucasians put their names on the Declaration of Independence, who the fuck wrote the Declaration of Independence for them to deem that it was plausible for them to put their names on it? For them to say, okay, I feel like this is just for us. If you look at the $2 bill, it'll show you that there's a black person sitting there writing the Declaration of Independence for them. We can go back to Abraham Lincoln and we can go back to the whole whitewash system, how they painted a false narrative to make you think that Abraham Lincoln was white. But a lot of this stuff that they tell you the history of, it took place at a time that white didn't exist. So how did the history of the world become so whitewashed if white didn't exist at the time that this history took place? That shit is beyond me. But here we are, still lying and making it seem like white was the problem. You're probably not shadow banned. You probably need to change your titles. Like it's probably the titles that you're putting up. Like you have to talk about something that more people are interested in. A lot of people are not interested in, the topics that you are picking. If you picked a topic that more people was interested in, maybe throw Trump in your title, maybe, say or whatever, like, but just talk about, something that's bigger than the circle that you're talking about. Like, maybe you need to change your title to Nicki Minaj or something like that. So that way you can see what algorithm you're actually in. If you just keep on titling it based off of, you got to title it based off of something that a bigger collective is looking in, like looking up. You know what I mean? It's not that you shadow ban, you're probably just reaching a lower uh group of people just with your titles. Change your titles, start appeasing to a different, group of people. That's ain't nobody really looking up fucking Maggie the Black Owl. Ain't nobody really looking up, you might have a couple people looking up Jaguar, you know what I mean? But nine times out of ten, if you look up, you can Google it really, like most search video, like search that. Just look up most search video in your Google and then build a topic off of the most searched and your numbers will change. But I don't know. Like I say, like the ascension process, everything that's going on, when people are realizing, what's happening with the hormones, the harmonic frequency, this is being manipulated. It's been being manipulated. Even if you go back to Michael Jackson and Diana Ross, a lot of people don't realize that, Diana Ross, was having certain said alleged relations with Michael at the age of 9, so like this is something that goes back to Motown, so on and so forth. They say, other people were, doing this too. And this is learned behavior. This is taught behavior. You know what I mean? This is something that they were taught, you know what I mean? Or something that they carried on, if you would say, like, because this is not like, you know, if you look at it, like, think about it, like, if somebody sold their self, if somebody sold their soul, right, and you told them that there was a better way, they're going to deny the way that you're telling them because they already sold it. So, they're not going to admit that, oh man, I messed up and, send people the better way. They're going to be like, nah, fuck that. I took this path. You got to take this path too. You know, it's like if you look at it, this is happening all over in society, like where people are trying to make you go through the shit that they went through. Like you see it right now within our collective. You see people are like, well, I had to get it out the mud, so you got to get it out the mud too. What the fuck? I thought the concept was I went through it so you don't have to. I thought that was the concept, you know? But anyway, our bodies are changing. We are moving to a higher harmonic frequency within the planet. So that's going to change a lot of stuff down here. A lot of people's operation is going to change. You're going to be forced to do good because negative energy can't exist in the Aquarius sky. So Christ told us about this time where the negative energy can't exist, and they mocked it, they laughed, they was like, oh yeah, okay, well, let's see it, how much negative energy can exist in that time, da 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 da. And they kept with the negative shit. So now that we're under the Aquarius sky, they're still trying to keep the negative shit going, but you'll see a lot of karma happening fast. You know what I mean? Even if you look at the whole, matter of fact, any situation that you name right now, you'll see it happening fast. Look at the Erica Kirk situation. Erica Kirk situation. Look how fast her karma came. Look how fast she got exposed. Whether it be Romanian ties, French ties, ties to the, certain said churches, and then they're going back and they're exposing her ties to Epstein and saying that she was Trump's madam on the island and so on and so forth. So they're saying that, you know, that she was one of Trump's, you know, hidden parties or whatever. So it's getting deeper, like you know, um and that's why, like, you see people right now on a journey for truth, and you see a lot of people that's manipulating the truth. You see them getting exposed right now. But take a listen to this and then tell me what you guys think. I'm also going to drop the link in the chat, so that way if anybody want to come up, um maybe, you know, add to the conversation, you know, speak on some of the stuff that they've been going through during this time of ascension, and just show like that we are all going through something with inside of ourselves. Some of us just have the ability to speak on it and stand in our truth. Like, my mind's not at a disarray. Like, I'm not going crazy or anything like that. I just understand this world a lot more than what people give credit for. And I'm cool with, you know, having this human experience. But some people are going to try to make you seem crazy. They're going to try to gang stalk, especially right now with this social media experiment going on.
For human beings, these consciousness bodies exist throughout the densities and are aspects of the higher self and light body. These aspects are called the stations of identity. In the fifth harmonic universe in 13D-14D-15D exists the three layers of the Rishi matrix or threefold founder flame or GSF flame. These collective consciousness bodies exist on the planet Earth throughout the densities and are aspects of the future timelines and the light body of the planet Earth. The Earth consciousness body is directly interconnected in all harmonic universes to interface with the human consciousness, which is its life form expression in all densities. In the fifth harmonic universe there is no dimensionalization into matter forms, therefore there is no planetary body or human form. In the fifth density, as the consciousness does not manifest into matter, this area is called prematter. The three primal light and sound fields hold the ray expressions of Mother Ark, Father Ark, and Golden Ray Son of Christos, the Trinity of the Godhead, from which all biological forms are created in all of the harmonic universes. Law of One. Simply put, the law of one is the universal truth that all is one. It is the truth taught by Christ when he proclaimed, "Love your neighbor as you love yourself." We are all direct expressions of the one source, God's source. The law of one is an energetic reality as well as a creational covenant with the founder races. The law of one is practiced by the advanced races that promotes self-responsibility and accountability in our universal time matrix through the comprehension of the interconnection between all living things. The law of one expresses and acknowledges the interconnection, value, and interdependence of the spirit and consciousness that animates all things. This is the path to God's sovereign free.
So the reason why I bring this up is because no one can manipulate your true oneness, right? The oneness, the GSF behaviors, you'll notice this in people. It's a God sovereign free behavior, right? So it's where, like, kindness above all, right? People always ask me, like, why, how do you be so happy all the time? How do you, you know, keep on treating people with kindness that fuck you over and do them wrong to you? How do you continue to just overlook it and da 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 da? It's because I'm God sovereign free. You can manipulate everything down here in this physical world, but you can't manipulate the universe inside me. You can't play on the universe inside me. There's no, like, yeah, on the outside, it looked like you got away with some shit. On the outside, you look like you got out on me. On the outside, you look like you won. But that's what it's supposed to look like, because I know you're not going to leave me alone unless you feel like you got a victory. It's like playing somebody in a game, right? When I was a kid, people used to challenge me to play the video game. They'd be like, "Man, I'll beat you in Mortal Kombat." I beat them in Mortal Kombat. They'd be like, "Well, I bet you can't beat me in street fighting." I beat you in street fighting. I bet you can't beat me in a basketball game. I beat you in the basketball game. Bet you can't beat me in a football game. I beat you in a football game. I bet you can't beat me on the real court. I beat them on the real court. I bet you can't beat me in fighting. I beat them in fighting. So it comes to my realization that People don't stop unless they get that carnal victory over you. You know how many times I gave people victories? I seen it. Like I be in the middle of playing somebody in the game, and I see like this person ain't going. Man, listen, I'm about to just give them a victory so this shit can be over with, and then I'll never play them again. I'll give them their victory. Once you show me the type of person that you are, I will give you your carnal victory because I know I never have to deal with you again after that. Go ahead. I'll let you think you got a victory over me carnally. Look at the Freeman situation. They don't know what the fuck happened. No one wants to tell the truth about that situation. But obviously, something was very off about the whole situation, but nobody's telling the truth about it. But they think they got a victory. How is that? How y'all get a victory? If y'all already had all of this stuff, why did y'all pull me all the way up there to try to act like y'all needed help saving the farm? None of that shit made sense. But they think they got a victory. Oh, we're gonna get a movie out of this. What Freeman say? Oh, introduce me to your collective. Da 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 da. What Danny Robinson do? Jump right on it. Jump right on the bandwagon, thinking that she got a victory. I was waiting. I was waiting for something to come up. I was waiting. You can't play on my life, lady. That's why I say what the universe has for me, none of y'all can really take it away. Oh, you could try to jump in the way. Oh, you could do all of this other shit, but you can't stop what the universe has for me. A lot of y'all trying to step in front and take my blessings. You ain't notice how when my name started circulating, people started popping up like, oh, I'm Ralph. They had the same name as me, right? You ain't notice how every time I expose something, Danny Robinson would come out and try to take credit for exposing it before, and then Maggie would give the credit to Danny Robinson, even though she know that I exposed it on my page first. Y'all ain't notice how all of that shit happened. Remember, Ratchet TV used my clip of Ali Carter in order to antagonize Jaguar. When I was saying, here, kitty, kitty, right? All of them stole different pieces of my intellectual property and then made it seem like, But that's the small victories that I lose in order to create a greater society. Who cares if you got that carnal victory? Mine's wasn't never to try to get monetized. Mine's wasn't never to try to get money. Mine's was always been about the people. I always said that mine was about the connection with the people. Y'all showed y'all cards and showed y'all hand that it was about money and monetization and make it wane, make it wane. Y'all did that.
GSF behavior. When we are in energetic balance with ourselves, we are in balance with our spiritual self, our heart, and we cease to have great personal turmoil or suffering. This is how we become increasingly healthy and peaceful. When we are emotionally healthy and peaceful, we are able to access our spiritual self and heart intelligence easily. So this is to comprehend our natural spiritual energetic state of being is one of emotional balance, inner peace, health, and connection with life. This state is not dependent on the external outcomes and can be experienced even when others around you and the world are undergoing great turmoil. To improve peace in a largely dysfunctional world, we may require attitudinal behavior guidelines that help us to reframe our belief systems. These positive behaviors are spiritually healthy behaviors that develop our consciousness and are called GSF behaviors. All GSF behavior guidelines are the basis of following the law of one practices. Kindness above all. It is very clear to most of us that we are a part of something humongous happening on planet Earth. The ascension impacts everyone and has personal implications that hold different meanings that are very intimate to each person. Connecting with your soul, connecting with God's source is very personal. As a part of the human race, we all know what it means to suffer horribly in pain and feel completely alone in the darkness. As we endure this ascension cycle, remember, it is about kindness above all. Honor where you are, take the time you need, allow yourself the space to heal and find the kindness for yourself. As you strengthen your core and can expand your sphere of influence, then practice random acts of kindness towards others. 1 second of criticism, sarcasm, belittling, or hateful words can mar and scar a child and a person for life. 1 second of kindness can elevate a child or person to accomplish greatness that allows them to find their soul. The soul is kind and loving. God is kind and loving. 1. Connecting directly with God and Christ. When we connect directly with God, the most important thing for us to understand, especially on the path of anchoring foundational stabilization and heart-based coherence, is to recognize ourselves as part and parcel of God consciousness without any intermediary identity. What that means is when you directly connect with God or Christ, know that Christ is the physicalization of God. Christ is not only the figure of Jesus the Christ embodying perfect peace, Christ the cosmic Christos is a God-sovereign free cosmic citizen, and this potential is the ultimate destiny and ascension path for all of us, too.
Did you hear that? Or should I just repeat what it said, right? What it means is when you directly contact with God or Christ, know that Christ is the physicalization of God, right? That means if you are to walk like Christ, then you are walking like a God, walking in the physical, like, so therefore, this whole earth you're supposed to protect, you're supposed to tend to, you're supposed to care for, right? Because it's an energy source. You know, it's an energy source. Look at how it's not letting me go to nothing else on this page. Like, it's not even letting me leave this page. It's like blocking all the rest of the shit. If I try to go somewhere, I don't even know if I can reset this page. That's crazy. That it's not letting me download. It's not letting me. I gotta take my PC to what you call. But they've been eliminating some of this stuff on this page. Like when I was studying this stuff before, they was eliminating a lot of the pages. Like a lot of the stuff I couldn't look into. I couldn't look into it. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Like even right now, like see, that's crazy to me. That's why I say like they be hacking into people's PC and shit like that, because I don't have no problem pulling this page up any other time, but now it's crazy work. It's crazy work. Look. I'm telling you. Crazy work.
Why do you deny me? You chose the lie created for you just to hide in. Why obsessed about surviving? Fighting over creation made for all to thrive in. When love speaks, you say you're listening. I wonder if you hear me. Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love. Was your heart ever my home? So cold that chaos sits on your throne. Stuck in For how long your pride convinced the right is wrong? When I speak, you say you're listening. When will you ever hear me? Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love. Was your heart ever my home? So cold that chaos sits on your throne. Stuck in a loop for how long? Your pride convinced that right is wrong. When I speak, you say you're listening. When will you ever hear me? Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love.
So I guess they really blocking people from
Why do
talking
you
about
deny
this.
me? You chose the
I mean,
love
I always
created
knew that
for
they
you
was blocking
just to
people from
hide
talking
in.
about it. I mean,
Why
I always knew that they was blocking people from talking about it. You know what I mean? Uh, but it's funny because I just clicked on it. I just looked it up. You know what I mean? I just clicked on it, like, so I just got in there. So it had to be like just now. They're doing like it has to be through my PC because I can click on other loops or go into another segment of it, do something else. You know what I mean? But that just goes to show like that fast. Like, look, watch. All right, so if I go here now, mind you, they can't really do nothing because I got the books. You know what I mean? I got the books right here. Like I can show you the books and shit. You know what I mean? But mind you, like if I go here, right, and I'll go to this, right? It's not. It looks up what I'm look. It looks up what I'm asking it to look up, right? But look, they stopping me from going into the Ascension Glossary, right? It's supposed to take me to the ascensionglossary.com, but every time I click on it, it go through Binge, and Binge is blocking it. So Binge, whatever the fuck this is, whatever Copilot search this is blocking it through that. Now I'm pretty sure I can just like copy this link and probably put it up there and get into it that way, right? But if I scroll down, right, I can go into this one, right? I could probably go into this one. See, I can go into this one. Boom. Right. I can go into this one and look. Right. But because they know that I use the Ascension Glossary, right? Because they know I use the Ascension Glossary, they're blocking the Ascension Glossary. You get what I'm saying? I can go into this one. See, it opens it up. No problem. Right. But once again, because they know I'm using the Ascension Glossary, it's blocking the Ascension Glossary. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Huh? Huh? This is how you know. This is when you know they're stealing your intellectual properties, right? In real time. In real time, I'm showing you, right? Look, I can go down here, click on any of this stuff. I could click on any of this stuff. It'll open up, right? It'll open up. Boom. Right? But if I click on this, it won't open up. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Look. Make it make sense. Because they blocking me from putting certain variations of knowledge out there. But look though, you ain't got to worry about that because look, all of it is there. You know what I mean? Like I got it all in the book. Like I got it all written down. You know what I'm saying? I got it all written down already. So you ain't got to worry about that. You know, the stuff I look up, I already got the books. You know what I'm saying? Already got them. So I'm just trying to give everybody, I'm trying to give other people understanding. You know what I mean? You don't want other people to understand it. I get it. I know why you don't want other people to understand it. You know what I mean? I get it. I get why you blocking it. I get it. You know? I get it. You guys are afraid. But I can, you know, explain it through other stuff. That's the thing about it. The knowledge is in my mind. So it doesn't matter about what you block. If you try to make it seem like, oh, he won't be able to do it without the ascension glossary, that's a damn lie. How do you think I built my page on YouTube? Sitting there in front of the phone. Didn't even have none of this stuff to look it up or any of that. Just sat in front of the phone and spoke about shit. So you can't sit here and try to make it seem like it's not my intellectual property. It's my intellectual property. Freedom teaching. You see it? You see what it says? Refers the freedom teaching of Melchizedek. It's free. This is universal knowledge. You cannot sit there and try to, you know, manipulate what's already given to us. This is universal.
The Oraphim are a hybrid form of Lyra Sirius A. Anahazi, Elohi Elohim Emerald
know?
Order Feline Hominid. Sirius B. Azurite Yani, Elohi Elohim Feline Hominid, Seraphi Avian Hominid, and Braharamainu Cetacean, and Pleiadian Ceres, density, 2 Seraphi Avian Hominid. The Oraphim were seeded 568 million years ago on density, 3 Sirius.
Now I want y'all to think about this. Every name that y'all heard, they took it off of the Atwoods network. But if you go back to last year, I don't know if you guys remember. If you guys remember that DNA test that they did, you know, they did that DNA test where they were like, they going to show jaguars, you know, ancient bloodline or ancestral bloodline, so on and so forth. And the names that you just heard was the same names that they tried to depict around the bloodline of Jaguar. So that way, anybody who comes into this idea of knowing different variations of star seeds will think that they will have to go crazy or go into fight mode like Jaguar. She was a false light of what was to come, right? So this knowledge was to come out about these entities that lives on different dimensions or different, you know, densities. And they try to make it seem like she holds the energy of these particular beings, right? Because remember, she said the bird-like being, right? Remember her like being that she was saying, right? So that's why I say, like, y'all got to be careful. That's why we came over here and was pointing Jaguar out as a low vibrational entity or being. That's what started this in the first place, was because I seen that they were pushing a false narrative with Jaguar and with Big Homie CC by doing these fake DNA ancestrials, trying to make it seem like that they had the Atlantean blood in them and so on and so forth. A bunch of, I said, nah, we not doing this. And that's why I came over here and was pointing these, personas out. That's what started this. I gotta reset my PC. I'm gonna take my PC back to what you call them and get it clean, get it wiped, get everything wiped over, and just reset it again. Um, like I said, if you want, you can look some of this stuff up. You know what I mean? If you want to learn more, we're going to do more classes in the Discord if you want to join the Discord. But if you want to learn more, Anahazi, all of this stuff, this is a good place to look it up if you want. You could look this up. Ki Rasha energy, different tones of frequency that is around the light body, so on and so forth. So these are different frequency tones and stuff that makes up your crystals, energy, light body, solar dragon ring, so on and so forth. There's a lot of different names for this. These are the pillars that are made up. Your body has two different energies, two pillars, the feminine and the masculine energies. One operate in the solar, one operate in the lunar. And these are the pillars that makes up your vessel. So a lot of people don't even know like the functions of this, but this is, the best way to say it is alchemy. Like this is alchemy. You know what I mean? So yeah, when she did the interview with what's her name? Beverly. Remember when they did the spiritual live last year around December time with Beverly? When they all did the Christmas special and Beverly was their spiritual guru who was remote viewing Beyonce and all of that stuff. Yeah, Beverly Rose. You know who I'm talking about. Now you want to act like you wasn't here for the whole show. You've been around. Beverly, whatever her name is. She wrote a book called The Horse Girl or The Horse something. Yeah, it's called The Horse Girl, where she says that her whole family is trafficking and she was yeah. That Beverly. She did the remote viewing for Ronnie when he went missing. And they were like, we got to contact Beverly to do the remote viewing for Ronnie. And she was like, I see him in a gray room with, people with tan clothes on and da 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 da. Y'all remember that shit? Come on, stop acting like I'm the only one remember. I mean, I know I got a great memory, but come on. I remember that like it was yesterday. That shit was astonishing. I was baffled by how easily they ate that shit up. And then they try to paint us like he must be doing something to them girls over there to have that whole Atlas family. And they going, oh, she giving them money. Like, man, he must be doing something to y'all. Remember the shit? Yeah, you remember. I remember. Don't act like you don't remember. I remember. If I remember, I know you remember. It's called like the Horse Girl or something. Yeah. So look, your solar plex, 10 petals, right? So when they tell you about the flower, the locust flower, like this flower, the flower of life, flower or whatever. So this is what breaks it down, right? Enter Stargate 7, chakra, stellar, 2D to 3D, right? So this breaks it all down right here, right? The point, PhD, network, so on and so forth, connection to the universe. This connects you to the universe, right? 960 petals, 96 third eye, 10 solar plex, right? So This is the 10% that he gave the world, the 10% that you see with your carnal eye, the physical plane, right? So now you have your third eye chakra, 96 petals, one cube, 6 faces, sensors, right? 16, 4 elements, fire, air, water, earth. This is your third eye, right? And then you have your throat chakra. Now, mind you, your mind is incubation with your third eye chakra. So your mind is merged in that cubation of third eye chakra because your mind is around your third eye, right? So you have your throat chakra. It's 16 petals, 4 squares, fire, air, water, earth is also a representation of your throat chakra. This is where your truth lies. When you're able to speak your truth, stand on your truth, this is when you're operating in your throat chakra, so on and so forth. It's also known as your Taurus because the Taurus is in your throat. You know, your Taurus is your throat. It's the ruler of that, so on and so forth. So now you have your heart chakra, 12 petals, 4 triangles. This is fire, air, water, earth. Like I said, alchemy plays a big part in this, right? And then you have your solar plex, 10 petals, 2 pentagrams. This is where the why certain things is set into that 5 notion, Star of David, so on and so forth. 6-point star, Allah, leg, arm, leg, head makes up Allah, so on and so forth. So this is where all of that comes in. This is where all of that knowledge comes in. The yin and the yang, so on and so forth. What makes up your cubic, the dimensions of your body. This is your vessel, right? And this is why Christmas was always Christmas. I think we forgot the importance of putting that star on the tree. The importance of the star on the tree. This is why the good and the brightest one got to put the star on the tree, because this was a representation. The tree was your body, and the star was considered to be that point where your essence, threshold of God. It was considered to be your soul star that puts that opens you up to God. It was the Christ in you that was supposed to have these energies. If you notice, like your fingers have Lee lines, points of entry for energies. Your feet have points of entries, just like the planet has this same thing. The planet has this same thing, the same soft spot that you have on the top of your head, on your fingertips, is the same thing the planet has. If you ever see like the planet from above, they show you that spiral cortex at the that's God's fingerprint on everything that he made. It's almost like a painter that paints a picture and then puts his name in the bottom corner of it. God left his mark on everything too, right? It's the fingerprint of God. It's on everything. It's in everything. It's part of creation. Now, when you look at the earth has these same Lee lines, these same lines that run through our body. It runs through the planet, and we are connected to these lines that run through the planet. See, this is why I say y'all can't stop me from giving the knowledge out. Oh, you block the path of which I use to help articulate, some of the stuff that I'm trying to explain to people. But you didn't stop me from putting the knowledge out, right? All you did was made me go into a different direction that actually I'm glad you did it, because this way I can show a multitude of different pictures. And this is beautiful. You get a better idea of it. People can take these pictures and be like, okay, I'm gonna go study this, So that's great. Thank you. Like I said, it's my intellectual properties that I'm using to articulate everything, to put it together, to try to explain it to you. And they can't take away that. They can try to fake whatever they want to fake. They can give somebody else this same knowledge and tell them like, hey, we want you to reach the people with it, but you ain't going to be able to articulate this shit how I'm giving it to the people. You ain't going to be able to make this shit make sense. And they told you that someone will come that will be able to read the text and teach it to the people, right? And y'all can keep on trying to push me out of the equation of teaching. Y'all can keep on trying to, just because I don't want to give in to your false God. You remember that day that Jaguar came up on a panel and she tried to like force me to say Yahweh was my God? You don't remember that? Like how how much energy she was putting a lot of energy into like saying it, like say Yahweh's your God, say Yahweh's your like I was like, what the and look, I was looking outside, it was hailing outside my house and shit for that brief time that she was sitting there going crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? This girl is really like, you know what I'm saying? I think her son was right. She might really be at the gates of hell or something. You know what I mean? Like ushering in like some fucking demonic energy. I'm telling y'all, man. I remember that day. I was like, "What the? Why does she want me to say Yahweh is my God? Why does she want me to say that?" They all gave in to the wine god. You didn't notice all these alcoholics. Look. Listen, when you run into these low vibrational demons, the one thing you got to do is see if they drink. I guarantee you they drink. I guarantee you. You don't know what demons you putting inside yourself. I'm telling you, man, half these people are drinkers and they not in control of their vessel. The humanity is gone from them. The energies that are manipulating their vessel learn how to pretend to be human. So all these demonic personas is out here acting like they have human traits. It's almost like the vampire who pretends to blink so you can think he's actually using his eyelids and need to, do something with his, tear ducts. Like, no, like y'all is not fooling nobody. You is not real. You is the demonic entity pretending to be human. That's why it seemed like, sympathy and empathy is lost. That's why it seemed like nobody knows what the next person going through unless they going through it themselves. Like everybody seemed out of touch with one another. Like I don't see how they can do this. It can never be me. It can never be me. Because you don't see nothing but yourself. A lot of people only see their self. So they can only think from their type of mindset. It's like a thief always thinks everybody is stealing. It's like an unaliver always think everybody else is unaliving people. That's why they keep doing it. Like they think how they think, and they think everybody else think the way that they think. That's what keeps them doing what they doing, is because they think the world is fucked up because they fucked up. So when you have that, it's to ease your conscience. It's to make everything you doing seem like it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so a lot of people stay in this negative repetitiveness and they want you to stay in it too because they comfortable in it. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people that ain't get they freak out yet. A lot of people out there ain't get they freak out yet. So they don't want freaking to stop. You know what I mean? Excuse me. They didn't sow they oats. They didn't get they freak out yet. So they don't want freaking to stop. You know what I mean? Like it's like, the person who didn't get to taste marijuana yet. You know what I mean? They don't want marijuana to stop. They wait until they get able to taste marijuana, so on and so forth. So it's like, no, don't stop it now. You know what I mean? Like that's how the world is. Like when in Rome, do as the Roman type shit. So a lot of people are secretly nasty minded. So they don't want the Diddy parties to stop. But they know morally that it's fucking up our kids and fucking up our generations and so on and so forth. But because they still got some freak in them, they don't want it to stop. You get what I'm saying? Because they can't control it in them. So they like, shit, who cares if they sucking and fucking and sucking and fucking? That's because they want to sucking and fucking. They want to be the one sucking and fucking. They trying to get involved. You know what I'm saying? Because when they do it, they want it to be looked at as okay. That's why they trying to do the nonchalant thing about it. It's like, so when they get caught, it's like Jaguar. Jaguar said if they knew the things that she was doing in her bedroom, they'd have locked her ass up already. So why are you pointing out all the shit that Jay-Z doing? Why are you pointing out all the shit that Big L doing? Why are you pointing out all the shit that all these elites are doing? But if they knew the shit that your ass was doing, you'll be in jail. What the fuck? That's projection like a motherfucker. She make her men watch guy on guy while she doing it to them. That's sick as hell. She makes them watch. If you don't believe me, ask Goomba. Go ask Goomba. Fuck Goomba mind hold up. He said he didn't know what the fuck was going on. He didn't know if he was getting erected from her or erected from watching the shit that she had him watching. He was so mentally fucked up. Think about it. That was a grown ass person she did that to. Her own cousin, third cousin removed, whatever the fuck they said. Sick. So you can imagine what Wolf Coochie over there doing. That's why when he said something about the commercials, he said that he was watching AT2 and a whatchacomb commercial popped up on his feed. But everybody knows that the commercial is not related to the person that you watching, but related to your algorithm and the shit that you looking up. So whatever type of shit you looking up is going to pop up on your feed for commercials. If I'm watching games all day on YouTube and so on and so forth, game commercials is going to pop up on my YouTube. Headset commercials is going to pop up on my YouTube, so on and so forth. So that's how you know some of y'all be looking up some weird shit and your algorithm really tell on you. Your algorithm tell on you. It's just like somebody on TikTok. Your algorithm going to tell. So if you see somebody TikTok and it's just showing all rump shaking ass shit like that, they can't be like, I don't know what the fuck be on TikTok. No, that's the stuff that you stopping on and watching and paying attention to. Because you can go to TikTok right now and sit yourself in an algorithm and sit yourself on somebody live or some like a video. Just let it replay for like 5 minutes. And it'll change up your whole algorithm just by you watching that for 5 minutes on replay, right? So if the algorithm is learning you faster, then that means you telling on yourself. That's why I like playing Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders tell you the type of world that we live in. Arc Raiders, you're supposed to be able to play and you're supposed to learn how to help each other and so on and so forth. Nope, that's not the world we live in. In Arc Raiders, you got people that'll join your team, let you do all the work, and they take all the glory. In other words, you working your ass off trying to protect the team, and they looting boxes and taking all the shit from the people that you protecting them from, right? And then you got people that they don't loot. They just go in and take the shit from other people. So they let other people do all the work, and then as soon as you think you about to leave with all of your loot, they right there waiting for you. Like it's the same shit. Like in the 90s, same thing with Halloween. People go around snatch bags and shit like that. Only now it's more so. Like you can see the type of world we live in. It's fuckery all around us. No one's trying to unify. No one's trying to actually learn how to work with each other, how to deal with each other. Ignorance has begotten ignorance. Like look at sarcasm, for instance, right? People think that sarcasm is a way of being now. No, you choose to be sarcastic. You choose to be smart-mouthed. You choose to be, ain't no motherfucker. I'm just a sarcastic person. That's not no fucking personality. Sarcasm is not a personality. You can't just say, I'm sarcasm. No, the fuck you ain't. You choose to be sarcastic constantly. That's what make you sarcasm. Because you keep on choosing to be sarcastic. And that I'm just a sarcastic person. No, you're choosing sarcasm. You're choosing that shit. But hey, if y'all want to make that shit a whole personality, then that shit is going to be a whole personality because that's what's soothing to your mind. I can't say what's soothing the next person's mind. You know what I mean? I could say how I go about shit and my mind and so on and so forth, but I can't say how the other person soothe their mind. Some of y'all soothing mechanisms lie to y'all. It's like y'all enable yourself to keep on, staying in the fuckery that y'all in. It's like, you know what I mean? I can't do nothing about that. If somebody's choosing to stay in that, I can't do nothing about it. You know? Yeah. And see, the thing about it is like sometimes sarcasm is not it. It's not the choice. If you assess the situation properly, you will see that sarcasm is not the choice, right? But because you only care about appeasing your own feelings and emotions, sarcasm is what everybody else gets despite the situation or whatever. So it's no proper analyzation with that, is what I'm saying. It's like I I can choose to be sarcastic for the most part in a lot of situations. But once you analyze a situation, you realize some might cause for this, some might cause for that. You know what I mean? Because it's appeasing to their feelings and emotions. And it's more appeasing to their life. Think about it. It's the same reason why pretty women hang out with an ugly chick. It's so that their beauty can be appreciated more. People like to see fucked up things in the world, so it makes the little bit of shit that they got seem that much more appreciative. If I see somebody losing a car, $1 million car, it makes me feel comfortable with my poo butt. You know what I'm saying? If I see beautiful people falling out, that makes me feel comfortable with my poo butt. In a sense, you know? So people like to see people losing shit so they can appreciate the shit that they got. You know, people like to see other people going through it. Say, I'm glad I ain't going through that shit. A lot of people, they know what girlfriend to call to hear the bullshit. Just like they know what girlfriend not to go to for the bullshit. They know what person to take their bullshit to, what person to not take their bullshit to otherwise. Right? So in a sense, it's like you're not gonna call the girlfriend that's always giving you good advice to go do no bullshit. You're gonna call the girlfriend that you know gonna be like, girl, I'll drive you over there where he live at. You ain't gonna call the girlfriend that's always telling you, like, think about it, it's not worth it, so on and so forth. You gonna call the girlfriend that's with the shit. You know what girlfriend is with the shit and what girlfriend is not with the shit. When you want sound advice, you call the girlfriend that's gonna give you sound advice. When you on that other time, you call the one that's gonna appease that nature of you. So let's not act like we not analyzing, you know, for whatever beneficial factor of ourselves. That's how we dealing with each other. And a lot of people is more so on the lines of like, if you ain't doing nothing for me, then F you type shit, you know? It's appeasing to the feelings and emotions. Like logic, knowledge, none of that shit. Like this stuff that I'm talking about, it's appeasing to some people, but everybody ain't trying to learn. They feel like they learned everything they need within the 12-year school or a little bit of college or whatever. They ain't trying to learn. All these adults is dealing with pride and ego. They not trying to be forever learners. Hey man, get in. They want to see drama. Why you think World Star is so famous? Why you think how you think Kai Cenat, Rakai, and all these young people build their platforms off of drama? Why you think trolling is so big now? Why you think they don't even pay attention to you when you go to the damn restaurants, McDonald's, wherever you go to get food? You tell them you want barbecue sauce in the bag. They throw 3 ranches and a motherfucking tangy spice in that shit and call it whatever and just pass you anything now. They not even paying attention to us. A drama, if a fight break out right now, everybody reaching for their phone. Nobody's reaching to break it up. Nobody trying to break that shit up. Everybody trying to record that shit. I'm about to go viral. Yep, I recorded that. Yep, I'm about to go viral. These young people is recording during a shootout. I can't even see myself recording during a shootout. Huh? You think all these events popping up on feed, popping up online? Everybody got their phone out recording, trying to wait for the moment to go to shit. So they can say they caught it. That's the world we live in. You know? Yeah, ain't no facts to follow. It's only people. People following people. The blind leading the blind. Think about it. Jaguar Wright been over here getting money on YouTube for how long? She ain't show no type of growth in that nonprofit organization that, what's it called? Cruelty Free Music. Ain't an artist pop up from Cruelty Free. You know how easy it is to find an artist nowadays? It's because she not looking for an artist. She thinks she the only artist that there is. Like she wants to be the everything of everything. It's the same thing with these other, older people that's on here right now. They not looking to pass the torch. They trying to be the torch. You know? They not looking to teach people how to fish because they always want you to come to them for the fish. That's why they not looking to teach you. They want to try to sell you something that they can keep on selling you over and over again. That's why it's always come to the Patreon. Come over there because you got to pay when you get over there. Come over here because y'all got some more shit I need you to pay for. We about to do it on this page because I need them to get paid too. We got to do this because it's all about keeping your attention and also making sure that you pay out. So there's no solution to her, because the solution is fixing that of which is the problem. And that of which is the problem is grifters, scammers, everything that you know what I mean? That's why they get your email. That's why they give you a text now number. That's why they make sure that they, switch up Cash Apps, PayPals, all of that shit. That's why all of that shit transfers the way to the transfers because they're scamming. If they had intentions of doing right, then Jaguar would have went and set her ass down so that way she wouldn't be a felon running, right? She would want to operate in that good of an operation to where as though, but that wasn't ever the plan. The plan was to fuck us all over collectively, and then go to England or wherever she was going. You see, all of them is doing their last little bit of dirt on America and then getting up out of here. You don't see that happening? Huh? And you'll see the shit happening after you see Trump. Because what Trump doing? Trump done made a whole coalition over in Iran where he's the CEO of a peace coalition that's supposed to last forever over there, right? So how you our president, but you made yourself the CEO of some Middle East coalition that operates on peace in the Middle East? That means you setting your table over there already. So you don't give a fuck about this table because you already taking your food and everything over there. You already feeding another table. That's probably why the Bible says you can't serve two masters. Because these people are showing you to their face the what's to come, and still nobody wants to. Everybody just keep on. I gotta go to work. What? There ain't gonna be no work to go to. So, I take heed to the world. I pay attention to the world. I know what type of world we live in. But the harder they push truth out, the harder truth knocks. The more they try to push this out of the circulatory operation or conversation, the harder it knocks. And now look, as you can see, now that they see that I'm willing to talk about this in other manners, look, now all of a sudden I can go into the Ascension Glossary. Look, you see how many times I clicked on it before it wouldn't let me in, right? Now watch this. Look. Shut the fuck. Look. Get the fuck. What? What? I'm telling you, in real time, they is analyzing and watching in real time. They're like, fuck it, we can't stop him. Fuck it. Fuck it. Just go ahead, fuck it. He really is spitting this shit from his head. Just fuck it. Crazy. You gotta go through all of that shit. I gotta show y'all books and all of that shit to show y'all that y'all not stopping nothing. And then y'all motherfucking let up. Crazy. I'm telling y'all, man. It's weird. Y'all see how many times I try to get in here before. Y'all seen how many times I clicked on this and tried to get in here before. Huh? And listen to this. Listen to what Inner Earth is. Listen to what Inner Earth timeline is. Listen.
Inner Earth timelines allow an access into the transharmonic fields. This is the ability to easily slide back and forth into the parallel realities. The aperture into the Inner Earth timelines has been opening up gradually on the Earth's surface since 2000, and many people have had direct contact from the Inner Earth residents that are a mixture of the more advanced human and reptilian civilizations. Recently, some of these civilizations have been chastised for giving deceptive information in the New Age channelings to Earth humans on the surface. These groups were essentially afraid that surface inhabitants would invade the Inner Earth civilization and destroy their more advanced culture, so they spread a lot of disinformation. Inner Earth residents consider Earth's surface inhabitants to be hybrids that are mixed with the refugee races and criminals' minds, making surface inhabitants much more hostile and violent. They do not have war or kill each other, so this apprehension towards surface Earth inhabitants is understandable. Most do not completely understand the reality of the NAA. Invasion and mind control on the surface. Even though the Inner Earth residents are much more advanced and have access to technology that surface inhabitants don't have, they are also undergoing revelations of deeper truth and spiritual ascension to embody into their next higher potentials. Surface Earth soul groups may also return to the Inner Earth timelines during Bardo, if that is the soul family they are most intimately connected to continue the next stage of their journey to skip forward in time. It is possible that in the future, Bardo will not be necessary for a surface dweller to return back into the Inner Earth, as the transharmonic field access makes time travel easier. These are future humans and they look very much like we do on the surface, with the exception of living much longer, and appearing younger, taller, and more symmetrical.
Now, of course, this
Embodiment.
will be speculation. This will be like just, let's just say this was, but this is telling you that, this ascension process is happening on multiple dimensions. Like, so when you talk about like Inner Earth timeline and so on and so forth, like these are different analogies for what is, always was, and always will be. They always tell you that, there are beings inside of our earth, so on and so forth. They tell you about the Bigfoots, they tell you about the so on, all these different things. They tell you about this. This is something that is happening in this verse, in this world, right? And like a lot of stuff, that's why I say, like, we got to really get into these conversations because you guys, like, have yet to really break down, like, the fire DNA codes, these fire letters that is awakening in our DNA. Like, there's fire letters that are awakening
DNA fire codes are related to
our
time
DNA.
vectors, and as such, they are relational to being able to function in a consciousness transport in between time fields. When there is change directed into the planetary magnetic field, that shifts electromagnetism, whether natural or artificial, the result is that is directly stimulating changes to occur in the DNA and its fire codes. There are natural consciousness transport functions in the diamond sun light body that have been mutated and reversed on the Earth to prevent their access. There are three main ways to describe the stages of consciousness transport in the diamond sun template that allow us to move our consciousness, between this point in time and another point in time, or outside of time. These extend into further stages more complex than dreamwalking, because they are direct functions of the activated diamond sun body. These are transfiguration, translocation, and transmigration.
Now, that's why I say, like, you have to realize, like, the way this is working, it's like frequencies, light, so on and so forth. These things are creating different variations of energies on this plane, certain variations of things that come together to make us whole, to make this possible, reality, whatever you want to call it. So these are the three founding lights in a sense. So you got these two lights that come together to make a third light. This is why, you know, Terrence Howard say 1 + 1 = 3, because in if you're talking about quantum physics, so on and so forth, our numbers will be off if we use the same system that we have. This 100, count to 100, right? Because previously it was just 60. They went by a Dewey Decimal System. It was just increments of 60. It was only 10 months. You know, it wasn't 12 months, 13-month calendar, so on and so forth. Like, there was 10 months in that year. They added, July, August for Augustus Caesar, Julius, Augustus Caesar, whoever. However you look at this. So a lot of stuff was changed, and that changed a lot, but neither here nor there. We are definitely going to embark on like a lot of this learning, so on and so forth. I hope you guys are here. I hope, more people subscribe, follow the page, join the Discord, so on and so forth. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and it rules this plane right now. So you're going to have a lot more people out searching for truth, whatever it is that they depict their truth is, or depict their search of truth to be. Some people might have frivolous truths that they want to be revealed. Some people, dig deeper for the revealing of truths. Mine just happen to be, in a more spiritual direction. I'm not looking for carnal truths. I'm not looking for, the outcome of who actually took out Biggie or Pac or any of that stuff. Like, mine is, more deeper. But to each his own. Love is love. Namaste, Ashe, salutation, shalom, peace. And if nobody told you that they love you today, let me be the first but not the last to tell you that I love you. And remember, one's image of oneself should be greater than reality. If you're not thinking great of yourself, nobody else is going to think great of you. And in the meantime, in between time, remember that we are all reflections of one another. All right? So be the better reflection. Okay? That's all we can aim to do, is be better. I'm going to continue trying to be better than the person that I was yesterday, and only half as good as the person that I'm going to be tomorrow. I encourage you to do the same thing. To be aware is to be alive. Y'all have a great night.
Speak to my soul. Speak to my soul. Speak to my soul. Wake up to the take up. Time for a shake up. Everything is changing.
All donations is going to the Solo Negro College Fund. Yes, I'm that Solo Negro, and I'm taking y'all to school.
Truth being told, expose the lie. The brand new sky is something you can't deny. This is the reason why. On fire, my soul's on fire. It's like the light moving up higher. My soul's on fire. On fire. It's getting hot, so learn up or burn up. We're being taught the past, future, in the now. You will understand if you allow. Mr. Wise will talk you through He's gonna take that walk with you. He can give you the notes, let your spirit reply. You will feel why my soul's on fire.